Long time no see, ratties. I feel like weird, like I'm starting over again because I didn't do this last week. So I'm like, wait, my routine is off, but I needed my little break that I got last week. Um, and James called me out because of like the social media like story that I did for like, hey, no episode today. She was like, it's extra patriotic. And I was like, I'm going to be really honest with you guys, okay? AI made that for me because the brain power that I had on Monday, zero, which will cue us into Anklegate. What is Anklegate, you may ask? Well, for those of you watching, here's my big old boot. So obviously Memorial Day weekend, we went to see our friends in Louisiana. It's become like our tradition. And we get there, Matthew's like backing the car in, and I literally was like, why are you backing the car in right here? Granted, our friends, literally, there's so many cars at this house. We call it the used parking lot. Used car dealership. That's what it is. Anywho, so Matthew's backing up into the spot, and on my side, there's probably about like 2 to 3 inches of driveway before there's this ditch. I'm getting the dude out of his car seat. I step back and I'm falling into the ditch with the dude. So already like my ankle is rolling, but I'm like feeling myself like kind of like falling forward towards where the concrete is. And I'm like, oh, we can't do that. So I'm like bear hugging my child and like falling backwards and doing whatever I can to like break our fall. He's fine, no, like literally just like is landing on me. um Meanwhile, but Matthew like grabs him. He's like, oh my god, like, are you okay, are you okay? And I'm like, mm, mm. So I like slowly get up and try to put pressure on my foot, and I was like, and Matthew like kept, he was like, hey, like, are you? And I was like, just give me a minute, and I'm gonna out Cole and Brian because how dare you guys. I look and I see them run back into the garage. So they saw me fall and didn't come help me. How dare they? Anyways, we'll get to that whole part. But anyways, so I muster up the strength to get up and hobble away. And that I did hobble. Um, and so like immediately started swelling and bruising, and it was pretty gnarly. But I was like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna just figure it out. We'll figure out how to vibe this weekend. You know what I mean? Um, so next day though, we were supposed to go to the aquarium, like the New Orleans aquarium, because I really wanted to take the dude first time at the aquarium. And I remember waking up, Matthew and Cole went fishing that morning. So I remember waking up with the dude and I was like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And like, then I was just crying because I'm like, my ankle. And like, then I'm like, in the aquarium. Like, I want to go to the aquarium. I can't go to the aquarium. Like, and then literally also, yes, he can walk, but obviously we all know kids love to just have you carry them around everywhere. At least mine does. He's a mongrel, like, doesn't want me to put him down ever. And it was like I was literally in pain because he's 30 pounds. Like I can't. Um Matthew and Cole get back from fishing and like I'm all emotional, you know. I'm like, no, like, just, we don't have to do anything. Like, you guys just go do something. And like he's like, well, me and Cole called. We can rent you a wheelchair for $8. I'm like, I will not get in a wheelchair. I will hobble around before someone is pushing me around in a wheelchair. He's like, well, if we go to the zoo, they have scooters. And I'm like, again, I am not doing either of those things. I will just suck it up and walk around. Was that smart? Probably not. And indeed, I was hobbling. Like it, I was at a snail's pace, a very, very snail's pace. I did like wrap it up and everything. So yeah, so continued throughout the weekend, still swollen, still, hobbling around. Come Wednesday though, I'm like, surely we're good here. Like, yes, it's still swollen and it's pretty bruised still, but surely we're good here. I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym, I do Pilates, and the next day my ankle and like the top of my foot hurt so bad. I was like, oh, maybe I should not have done that. And then Friday, no, so yeah, Thursday it was like still like just super bad. So I was like, I'm going on a work trip on Monday. So if something is broken, I should probably, I don't know, maybe figure that out before I'm out of state. And so I booked like an appointment at urgent care for like Friday after I got off work. And went in, did x-rays, doesn't look like there's anything broken or whatever. That's great. She was like, but this is a really gnarly sprain. So like you need to stay off of it. How about some crutches? And I was like, I'm gonna be so for real with you, girl. No. Like I have a 14-month-old. How am I gonna use crutches? And then also like I'm going on a work trip through the airport and again, crutches. She was like, boot it is then. And I was like, oh, I thought I was just going to get out of it with just wear a brace and try to stay off your feet as much as possible. Nope, boot. So I have to wear the boot for a week. And if in a week it's not better, then I have to go to see sports medicine, ortho, so they can, I don't know, like do an MRI, whatever they need to do so they can see like the muscles and tendons and all that stuff. So that's ankle gate. Um, it's like life is truly the gift that keeps on giving, and it really does give to me. Not what I asked for, but it gives. I guess that's something. At least, at least I know life is thinking about me. Anyways, but of course, one of the nights when we were like drinking and stuff, I was like fucking with Cole and Brian. I was like, and how dare you guys literally see me fall and not come and help me? Come to find out, Brian was like, Cole Fallon just fell. Go help her. Cole's like, I'm not going to go help her. I don't want to get yelled at. Because they're all like, I don't, you know how people are when they get hurt. And I will say, I was actually very proud of myself because even when Matthew was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I just need a minute. Just need a minute. Truly, I just needed a minute to like breathe and like see if I could even stand up because when I initially tried to stand up, I was like, oh, this is not good. So then I like, you know, compose myself. So yeah, if you see me in the Atlanta airport, well, this when this releases, it would be today, hobbling around. Hey, um, God bless it. So, yep, let's just hope that it gets better by the end of this week. It's feeling a little bit better. It's looking a little less swollen today. It's the bruising's looking a little less like I'm talking it was like purple and like really deep and dark. It was not good. Um he Anywho, also what a treat for you guys to have an episode where my hair is done. I think it's probably been at least like 5 or 6 episodes where my hair has not been done. It's either been like freshly washed or we're talking like needs to be washed. So my hair is done because I got my hair done yesterday. My Queen James. Um, literally, I'm obsessed. Because like I wanted to be blonder. Um, but not college blonde, which is funny because Matthew and the dude came to see us and like bring us some lunch, and then she wound up cutting Matthew's hair for me while we were there, or while they were there. And of course, like when he came in, like I had all my foils in, which I don't even know how many foils it was. We didn't even count. We were like, we don't want to know. But I was processing, and he was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, going blonde. He's like, but not college blonde, right? And me and James were just dying at the fact that like he listens. He listens to us talk about stuff and he gets it. So college blonde is me when I was like platinum. Like I don't know how much more blonde you could have gotten with like very little to no dimension. Which we love that for her. Like I look back on pictures and I'm like, yes, bitch, kill it. Sometimes I look back on the pictures and I send them to James and I'm like, I need to be her again. Like, I don't know. But then I'll send her a picture of like a darker haired me and I'm like, but she slays too. So at this point, I think she just like doesn't really listen to me anymore, which is good because I'm like, you just do what you want to do. Except the bangs. We did a shorter curtain bang last time we did one, but we did it longer to see how I would like it. And the day before my appointment, I sent her like pictures of like actual bangs. And I was like, so like be super real with me. Like, can I have bangs? And how difficult is it going to be? Like how many extra minutes a day are we talking about is going to go into my routine? Because that's a big thing for me. And she was like, all she responded back was like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, so I'm ugly. And she was like, no, you just don't want bangs during the summer. Because she has bangs and she's like, it's literally awful. And then having them grow out. So she was like, let's just do a shorter curtain bang. And honestly, I'm living for this. And the more I think about it, if it was like any shorter than this, I'd be pissed off because my like tick is messing with my hair, I feel like. So I'd be like constantly doing this. For the people who are listening, I'm just like swiping my forehead back and forth. Um, Anywho, so got my hair done, then did a photo shoot with Randy. Again, you guys, like just everything that Randy does is just jaw dropping to me. Also, like the more I think about like being a photographer is not literally just like taking pictures. Yes, like obviously like taking pictures, you have to have great equipment and that kind of stuff. But like especially like taking like pictures of people, like being, I don't know, like what kind of photographer that would be, like a people photographer. Anyways, like knowing like what to recommend they pose and knowing like where's gonna like be a good picture like when you're somewhere, like the lighting, the all the things when you're like just to capture a picture, then the editing and like deciding what pictures are like better content and stuff. I don't know. Like all of that is just I have my cute little, digi cam, but we won't go further than there. I'm good with, my little cute little pics I get when we're out and about. But no. Anyways, Randy Slays, we did like a little photo shoot to kind of like get some more content pics and like branding type pics for the pod and for social media and to like do all of that kind of stuff. And honestly, one, I'm gonna give myself a little credit. I fucking popped off with the outfits. I really did. Um, and I popped off with the outfits in a matter of like 3 days because I forgot about it. And I was like, okay, so my options are Amazon and Target. Cool. Let me see what I can do and what I can get put together and what will get here on time. Um, and your girl did that. And for those of you who follow my socials, which if you don't, at Feral Thoughts Pod, I posted like her sneak peek today, and then like a couple more pics that like I had too, from the sneak peek album she sent me, and literally like they're just amazing. Also, like, so we did them locally, and we both were, because it's like a Saturday night, you know, things can get a little busy and people don't really want like photographers and people like trying to take pictures and ruin their vibe. So we were kind of like like the first place we were going to, Scenic 90 cafe, literally the cutest diner I've ever seen in my entire life. And the sweetest, like I'm don't know if he's the owner or the manager, whoever you were, sir, you are literally so sweet and so nice. So we got there, it was busy. So we were already like, okay, let's just try to take some pics outside and we'll see if somebody tells us to go away, and then we'll go inside and hopefully like they'll let us take pics. So we started like to take some pictures outside, and the guy came outside and he was like, "Oh my gosh, like if you want to take some pictures, like here's some really great areas." I guess people kind of come there a lot to take pictures. Rightfully so, because it was a vibe in there. Had a little jukebox, like the little bar area was cute, had a little phone booth, like true diner fashion, had a little retro TV, killed it. Um, so we went there, we did some pics there. Then we went to this place called the Burrow, and it's so like the old Sacred Heart Hospital, they've like redone, I mean, not really redone anything. They've just put businesses inside of it, or like on kind of on the outside parts of it. I think there's still like a lot of it that's like unused and unoccupied. Maybe not. But it's just an old building with cool vibes, and like the Borough is also like a little bar restaurant that's really cute too. So we took some pics there, then took some pics in the old hospital, then went to another bar called the Florida Room. And it is again, the vibes are just immaculate. Literally the vibes in the bathroom alone are immaculate. Neon lights, like, so yes, we did take pics in the bathroom. Um and the Florida Room's like at Alga, which is a brewery, really good beers too. And the food truck that's there, the Brownbacker, is also really good. So just in general, like these places that I have listed off also have great food and great drinks. So you should also go there. So no, it was just wonderful because every place we went, they were like so accommodating and like absolutely take some pictures. Um, Let me tell you, a real shock to my anxiety though. I'm like, when we first started, I was like, oh, I should have taken my anxiety meds before I came to do this. I didn't even think about this because pretty much every place we went to was busy. Um, so like people are obviously looking at you. But this one sweet old lady, when we were taking pictures in this hallway of like the old hospital, was like, "Are you a model?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "Oh, well, you should be." And I was like, "Thank you." Um, so I was like, "Honestly, thank you, Granny. I'm gonna pop off now." And that I did. But I was definitely feeling myself with my new hairdo. James had it all beautiful. I also, let's see, I was there from like 6 hours. Not all of it was spent on my hair. James and I have realized that when I get there, we start yapping, and then like 30 minutes has gone by and we haven't even talked about what we're doing with my hair, and she hasn't even mixed up a bowl of bleach. So she was like, okay, we have to set a rule that next time, like, we can't talk until like I at least mix up a bowl of bleach. And I was like, okay, great. Because we were getting like kind of stressed because I only had like a limited amount of time from getting home from my hair appointment to get ready to go do pictures with Randy. And but I made it home, like, and I had time because at that point, all I had to do is my makeup, had the outfits planned out. So it all worked out. My hair was looking fabulous. I got my makeup to look fabulous, even though I have this fucking pimple that is out to get me right now. And I'm trying my best to not crash out over it because whatever. Um, so yeah, yesterday was like a busy day. We had a lot going on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is quite a bit of action today, you guys. No, but love James again, you guys. The best hair queen that there is in Pensacola. So should check her out. And then Randy also, like, again, like she just amazes me with her talent and what she's able to do because like she knew what to like ask me to do, knew how to pose me, knew what she wanted me to do, like, and also like had great ideas for like, ooh, let's do this here, let's do this here. So again, Randy's a great person you should check out for your photography needs. She like I don't even know how many shoots for me now for like a plethora of things, maternity, family pics, obviously like brand pics, literally anything under the sun. So, oh, like first birthday pics for the dude. She's come and done like his pictures at his party. She's also such a little queen. She got these like the meta glasses that record stuff. So, that's really cool because you can get like behind the scenes footage and stuff. So check her out. Her socials is R Mason Photography, Facebook, Instagram as well. I believe she's still running her like Instagram thing where once she gets to a certain amount of followers, she'll do like a giveaway or something like that. Don't quote me, but I think it's still going on. So check her out. Okay. Also in other news, Miley's new album, first of all, like the little sneak she was giving us was like enough for me anyways, because End of the World and like Something Beautiful just but the entire album has I wish like Spotify could tell you how many times you've listened to like a song within a day. Because I have probably listened to Golden Burning Sun today like 15 times. When it was bath time for the dude, we were jamming out to Miley's album and I literally was just repeating Golden Burning Sun like yesterday. I don't know why, like this song is just I have a thing where and Matthew asked me about this the other day. He was like, "Do you just get in the car and then like pick the same 4 songs like each time?" And I was like, well, no. I get in the car and I just hit the top of my like liked songs playlist on Spotify. So therefore, yes, the songs that I've liked most recently are going to pop up there. So they'll be what we hear first and then it'll get to like stuff later. But I do have a problem. Like once I like vibe with a song, I will just repeat the shit out of it until there's another song that I vibe with. Or certain like playlists and things like that, like will just be like that's what's in the like what I turn on every time. I can't help it. But I am a little crushed. Like Miley's album, great. I did though, like Matthew and I were also talking about this today. I really the tour is for sure not gonna happen, but because I already kind of came to that conclusion when she came out with the thing like this album is like a movie and it's gonna be in theaters for like a day or something like that. And I was like, oh, so she's not gonna go on tour simply because she's like made this movie and it's coming out in theaters. So like that's her way of kind of like having a concert. Um, but then I think it was on TikTok today. I saw an interview where she was talking about like her vocal cords and things like that, and how essentially like doing extremely long concerts and like doing that every like single day, or for consecutive days in a row, and like no break, no whatever, is like running a marathon with ankle weights. So and she could get surgery, but obviously then she like, because of what it is, it gives her like her raspiness and like the voice she has to like bless all of our ears with. And if she has that surgery, she could potentially lose that voice. So she's kind of like, I'm not going to do that, like, so, but I can't tour. And I'm like, at least just like start doing some festivals and stuff. Like just go to festivals, or like go on tour, but just do like, make it like a 4-year long tour. Something, anything. I'm begging you, Miley. Like I need that for I need that for my brain to be fully developed. I do. So, obsessed with the new album. The dude's obsessed with it too. Was enjoying my like vibe singing sesh to him in the bathroom. Matthew was like, "Is everything okay in here?" And I'm like, "Everything is perfect in here, actually, matter of fact." So, I've come upon a new addiction. Not really a new addiction, it's an old addiction. Cooking fever. Bro, I forgot how deep I was into this game until I started playing it again, and I realized that I need to pull it up. That's not where you need to go, Fallon. I have like, I think over like 5 restaurants, and like, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 restaurants, and 5 of the 7 restaurants, I've hit 3 stars on every single level. What was I doing? Like, I was also trying to remember, like, where was I at a time in my life where this is what I did all the time? Because this is also one of those games where, like, to upgrade stuff, you need, like, gems. And there's only so many gems that obviously you're going to be able to get for free. So then you're like buying the gem packs, the like $5, like, oh, 300 gems or whatever, so that you can upgrade stuff. So, but this is like my new like addiction, because I haven't really been reading as much. Weird, I know. So this is my new thing. Playing games on my phone. I don't know what's going on right now. Um Speaking of not really reading that much, yeah, I feel like I'm in a really big reading slump right now. I read 2, like a series, and it was a pretty good series. Now I gotta bring up my Fable. You guys need to follow me on Fable too. That's not necessarily related to the pod, but I think it's like Foul Urban or something like that. I don't know, to be honest, how to get you to find me. But anyways, I read Grand Lies and Grand Love by JC Hawk, and that was good, like a really good duet. Um, and then I just haven't really been like getting into anything else. Fearless is probably still like 2% read. Maybe I'll get some of that read on the trip, my work trip that's coming up, that I still am not fully packed for. And it's tomorrow. Hee hee hee. I actually though did like 2 nights ago, saw something on TikTok about the Lord series, which I feel like I've talked about that a lot on the pod, because it's an intense series that anytime I've recommended somebody read it, they immediately either Well, Victoria was like my bravest soldier. She read majority of the books, and if the author wasn't so obsessed with Y names, she would have bumped it up another star. So at least I have someone rallying for me on that aspect. But they are dark books, and I'm like, oh, I saw something on TikTok, and I was like, oh my god, I have to read that again. So I'm like rereading, not really rereading, because I feel like when I do a reread, I'm just like, there's certain parts that I know I want to get to, like my highlighted parts. So I'm just like skimming until I get to my part, and then I'm skimming till I get to my part. Um, but I'm thinking about bringing some real books on my work trip. What the fuck? Okay, this part I'm not cutting out because there's two other parts this time that I've had to cut out because something's going on with my big light. So obviously I'll cut out the part of me having to freaking fix it, but I'm really annoyed right now. Why is it doing this? Okay. Hopefully there's no more lighting issues. Anyways, so books, we'll see. I'm going to try to get out of my reading slump. Because I feel like the best time to read is like in the airport and stuff like that, because what else are you going to do? Shows, Summer House. Okay, lot to unpack because there was the like finale episode, which was thank you, Lexi. Like Jesse, what the fuck? But the reunion part one was like just not giving. I don't know why I've just been really unhappy with this season, and like it's just even like Southern Charm, I was not happy with that season either. And I think that like nobody has good plot lines anymore. And I think that too, a lot of the like seasons became about Paige and Craig because they broke up like right towards the end of the Southern Charm season. And then like what, right before or a couple episodes after Summer House started. So I feel like that's just been their whole thing. Is like tailoring it around that, which is cool, but it's also like this is boring and this is not what I want. I hope part two is better because I like heard the speculations about like a lot of like big news being dropped and stuff. So I'm just also ready for part two to happen because then after that, we usually find out who's going to be on the next season because they start filming in like 2 months. So we'll see. Um, Still obviously on my Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think I'm finally on like season, I think I'm on 8 now. So I'm getting close to when Nene is no longer on the show. At this point, I've kind of also wondered like why I can see maybe like some of the stuff like of what maybe led to her leaving. Still a Nene stan, but like all of like season 7, she didn't even want to hang out with the girls and do anything with them. And I'm like, wasn't that kind of like the whole point? You have to hang out with these people because you're on a show together. So if you don't want to hang out with them, then, but obviously she was like number one. So I think the way that kind of works is like seniority, like high school and shit. I don't know. Kenya still pisses me off. The Sheree is back and Chateau Sheree. What? What? Uh-uh. If you guys don't understand that, then I'm really upset. Anywho, oh, this is going to be very off brand for me, but watch the Earnhardt documentary on Amazon Prime with Matthew. Let me tell you, I was more into it than him because there were 2 times that he fell asleep and I kept watching. And then the next night we would have to like start over and I'm like, I watched it. um it was just like I don't know. It was really good because I mean, obviously I think even if you're not like a NASCAR person, you probably know who like Dale Earnhardt is and like whatever he's was this hero to all these people, but to really because I didn't even know like half of these other kids existed. Like I know he had Dale Jr., but I literally didn't even know that he had Kelly, he had what Taylor, then he had another boy. I can't remember what his name was now, Carrie. And I'm like, whoa, this man had a lot of kids. And then like also just like I remember something that Matthew and I had watched that like Dale Jr. was in where he talked about like Dale Sr. not necessarily being that great of a dad. But this like really got into the nitty gritty. And it's like, aw, you know? And then like Matthew had brought up a good point about like basically Dale Sr.'s dad, Ralph, was also like the exact same. You never heard like a good job, I'm proud of you. It was never like a loving relationship. And he was like, I mean, that's kind of all I knew. And I'm like, I know, but it's just like so sad that the older generation uses that and like uses that as why they're gonna just continue to be the same. Well, that's what was done to me. Okay, well, just because that's what was done to you, like, does that mean that you need to like punish your kids in the same aspect and like give them the same trauma and issues that you have? Like, that you're supposed to like learn from what happened to you. Like, even if you have a fantastic childhood, you still learn from things that your parents did or did not do and use that to like shape how you want to be. I mean, I would hope that that's what most people are out here doing. Clearly not, but to each their own. So actually, yeah, the documentary was really good. Um, and also just like really sad because I didn't realize that Dale had also had a really good friend, and now I'm gonna forget who the race car driver's name is, who had died, like, also in a crash, but, like, had multiple crashes before that where, like and he stopped racing, and then Neil Bonnet, if I got that right, I'm, like, so proud of myself right now, like, who is this NASCAR queen? Um but yeah, like I'm like, oh damn, that kind of like sucks to suffer the same fate. But that man was old. He needed to be done. He needed to be done. He was like 50 something years old. Why are you still racing? You need to be done. Um, that's not how it needed to end, obviously, but yeah, so that was a really good documentary. I need to figure out tonight what I'm gonna download on my iPad for viewing because I feel like that's the other thing. If you're not reading while you're traveling through the airport, then you are watching something. So, gotta figure out what to download on the pad. I'm gonna you know where I'm gonna go? TikTok. Because just like I have a bookmark of books that has like 200 and something videos, I have a bookmark of movies slash TV shows. So when I see people like review stuff, I literally put it in there. Save that for another day. What's that like Kevin Hart joke? Um, where the grandma's like, I'm gonna say this for after church. Nana, eat that fucking candy. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this for later. That's how I feel when I'm putting stuff in their little bookmarks. That's like the little voice inside my head, Kevin Hart. Gun compartment. Mm, that was giving very tick behavior. Anyways, um, you know what, guys? It was great to chat again this week. Um, wish me luck as I boot hobble it up throughout the airport and also am um working from not my home for a whole week. Well, half a week. But anyways, and let's hope that the girl does not have to see sports med because I will cry. It's supposed to be hot girl summer, not broke ankle summer. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. I appreciate you listening. Episode 18, like, you guys, I am doing the damn thing. And at the sake of being like big boss, like, let me hype myself up. I don't know why I just said all of those words because that's not what I was trying to say, but I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Um, oh, at the sake of sounding conceited, that's the word I was trying to come up with. I, I don't know. I'm just like I'm proud of myself, and I don't think I've ever really also been able to say I'm proud of myself and really like feel that. So like the bitch is growing. This is healing me in so many ways. Um so yeah, like episode 18, that's crazy. Just did another brand shoot. Crazy. Um like the doors are starting to open for things like with the pod. So I also just appreciate like all of you who tune in weekly and listen and show your support for me, especially those of you that are my friends, because like that that is true friend behavior and I really appreciate it. So thanks guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow me on my socials if you haven't, at Feral Thoughts Pod. I will be continuing to post Randy content because she's too good at her job for me to not. All right, you guys, until next time, bye rats.